These are the most ridiculous ways that people have died throughout history. Let's start with the easy ones and gradually move on to ones that get increasingly embarrassing and weird. Number 1. Chrysippus, 207 BC, ancient Greece. Let's kick things off with Chrysippus, a big deal philosopher from ancient Greece, known for his deep thoughts on logic and ethics. But how did this great mind check out? Oh, just by laughing at a donkey. Yeah, you heard that right. Legend has it that old Chrysippus saw a donkey eating some figs and found it so hysterical he laughed until he literally died. Imagine being a philosopher whose life work is asking deep questions about the universe, and then, boom, a donkey snack ends your career. That's not just irony, that's next-level slapstick. So, moral of the story? Don't underestimate donkey humor. It may not just kill the joke, it might just kill you too. Number 2. Sigurd the Mighty, 892 AD, Scotland. Next up, we have Sigurd the Mighty, a Viking earl with a name like he stepped right out of a Norse saga. But this dude's story takes a wild turn because he was killed by a head. Yes, you heard that correctly. After defeating his enemy in battle, Sigurd thought, why not take home a trophy? So he tied the severed head to his horse like a true warrior. But here's the kicker. While riding back, the head's teeth accidentally grazed his leg. Talk about a pain in the neck, or should I say, leg. Turns out, getting a little too close to your enemy's grin can have serious consequences. That toothy encounter led to an infection that took Sigurd out. So, in a poetic twist of fate, this mighty earl was posthumously defeated by a tooth. Who knew being a trophy hunter could be so dangerous? So remember, folks, the next time you think about taking home a trophy, just make sure it's not too close for comfort, or you might end up as the punchline of your own saga. Number 3. Hans Steininger, 1567, Austria. Meet Hans Steininger, a man who was not just a local legend, but the proud owner of the world's longest beard, over 4.5 feet. That's like having an entire second person hanging off your chin. But Hans's beard wasn't just a fashion statement, it was also his downfall. In a classic case of tripping over your own success, Hans met his fate when he found himself in a bit of a hairy situation. One day, there was a fire, and in the rush to escape, our man Hans totally forgot to roll up that epic beard of his. And guess what? He tripped over his own beard and broke his neck. I mean, talk about taking your work home with you. This guy went from beard goals to beard fails in seconds. So the moral of the story, if your beard is longer than a toddler, maybe consider a hair tie, or you might just become the punchline of history. Number 4. Clement Vallandigham, 1871, USA. Meet Clement Vallandigham, a lawyer from the 1870s with a very unique approach to proving his case. Now, you might think a courtroom is all about facts and evidence, but Vallandigham decided to spice things up with a little gunplay. During a trial, he wanted to demonstrate how his client's victim could have accidentally shot themselves during a fight. So, naturally, he pulled out a loaded gun, because what could go wrong with that, right? Well, spoiler alert, it didn't end well. He accidentally shot himself, and just like that, proved his point. A little too literally. Talk about a self-inflicted case of oops. But here's the twist. Even though he died, his client was acquitted. So, in a weird way, Vallandigham managed to win. Sort of. Just remember, folks, if you ever find yourself in court, maybe stick to documents instead of firearms. It's a safer bet. I hope you're enjoying the video. It would be amazing if you could maybe leave a like and subscribe. If you do, YouTube will know to recommend you more videos just like this one. It's a win-win. Number 5. Tycho Brahe, 1601, Denmark. Let's talk about Tycho Brahe, a 16th century astronomer known for his out-of-this-world observations, until, of course, he met his match with a bathroom break. Picture this. Tycho is at a royal banquet, surrounded by nobles and all the fancy food you can imagine. But there's a problem. He really needs to pee. But alas, it was considered bad manners to leave the table. So, like any good gentleman, he held it in for a really long time. Fast forward a bit, and we have a huge issue. After an epic battle of wills, Tycho's bladder finally threw in the towel and ruptured. Who knew being polite could be so deadly? So, the moral of the story. When nature calls, don't be a hero. Just go, even if you're an esteemed astronomer with a penchant for royal etiquette. Trust me, your bladder will thank you. Number 6. Basil I, 886 AD, Byzantine Empire. Meet Basil I, the Byzantine emperor who really took the phrase game over to a whole new level. This guy was not just ruling the empire, he was out hunting for some serious deer. But little did he know, he was about to become deer meat himself. One fateful day, while hunting, Basil got a little too close and personal with a deer. How, you ask? Well, his belt somehow got caught on the deer's antlers. Yes, you heard that right. The emperor, ruler of a vast empire, was basically tangled up in nature's furniture. He was dragged for miles, probably thinking, is this how I go out? Being dragged by a deer. It's like the ultimate royal tumble. And after finally being rescued, you'd think he'd get a medal for bravery or something, but nope, he succumbed to his injuries days later. So, the lesson here. If you're a Byzantine emperor, maybe stick to hunting with a little more caution. And if you do get tangled up with a deer, just remember, that's a tough story to explain when you get to the afterlife. Number 7. Allan Pinkterton, 1884, USA. All right, folks, let's talk about Allan Pinkterton, the founder of the legendary Pinkerton Detective Agency. This guy was known for solving the toughest cases, but spoiler alert, he met his match in a sidewalk. In 1884, Allan was strutting his stuff when he slipped on a sidewalk. But instead of just a bruised ego, he ended up biting his tongue. Ouch, right? But here's where it gets wild. That little bite led to a simple infection. Yep, that's right. The legendary detective who took down criminals was taken out by a tongue bite. Talk about a case of irony that even Sherlock Holmes would raise an eyebrow at. So remember, folks, no matter how tough you think you are, a rogue sidewalk can always ruin your day. And if you're a detective, watch your step, because it's a bitter pill to swallow when your biggest enemy turns out to be gravity. Number 8. Isadora Duncan, 1927, France. Meet Isadora Duncan, the legendary dancer known for her grace, passion, and, her overly ambitious love for long scarves. Seriously, this woman loved her scarves so much, it was basically a fashion statement with a side of danger. In 1927, while riding in a car, Isadora's fabulous scarf got a little too friendly with the wheels. Yes, you heard me right. Instead of being a chic accessory, it turned into a deadly game of tangled threads. And just like that, Isadora found herself strangled by her own love for fashion. I mean, who knew that scarves could double as a death trap? Talk about taking choking hazard to a whole new level. So, the lesson here, my fashionable friends, when it comes to accessories, choose wisely. A long scarf may look stunning on the dance floor, but it's not worth the risk of becoming a fashion victim. Remember, always keep it stylish, but make it safe. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out this video where we go over real-life incidents of people who survived their executions, or this video where we go over kings and celebrities throughout history who had everything but lost it all.